Hello and welcome back to In Other News, the show where we give you the lowdown on the gaming news. With E3 now in the past, here is what has happened in the last week.
In other news, gaming addiction has become an official mental disorder. Now this is ridiculous already. Just from saying, so they've called it gaming disorder. Yeah, the World Health Organization has basically classed it. It's basically a diagnosis now that you can have gaming disorder.
Wait, who has classed it as a disorder?
That's right. Yeah, so it's the International Classification of Diseases. It's in there now, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. It's not a disease. It's not.
It's not.
There's just a few news stories where, like a little boy stopped going to school or whatever because he wanted to so addicted to Fortnite, or that little girl was basically just sat there pissing herself because she wants to play games. But that's just individual people. They're like that. People are like that. It's not the games that are making them like that.
Like the rate of people that are actually doing these stupid things, we may as well class running away to the circus as a mental disorder. Like, probably as many people do that.
You could just replace the word gaming with whatever.
Yeah.
Like with, stupid things like watching the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, look at how many people do that. That is a disorder. You are mentally unstable. All of you.
Jesus. But yeah, it just seems to be getting a lot of backlash from games are violent. They've done studies that prove that they're violent. They've also done thousands and thousands of other studies that prove that it's not violent. It's
the stupidity of the extreme left where they look at one study that backs up their point of view and then they have to ignore everything else.
Yeah. As like how many people... We don't know how many people in the world now have this gaming disorder.
I mean, I need to add that to the list of mental disorders I already have. That's number 28.
Yeah, just because I think it's people just think that, oh, you play this game or play this video game, you play it too much. Okay, there's playing it too much, whatever that means, and then there's having a mental disorder. It's stupid. I think it's insulting to mental disorders.
Yeah,
because people definitely have true mental disorders, which is a horrible thing, and then people are just taking this thing as like it kind of makes kids think like, oh, I enjoy playing video games. Oh, have I got a mental disorder? Have I got this? Have I got that? Where's it going to go next? I just don't understand people's hatred for video games. It's crazy.
It is.
But I think loads of people are disagreeing with it and sticking it to the man and being like, no, fuck you. I think the good gaming community...
Stick it to the man.
That's the one. The gaming community will come together and not let bullshit doctors or bullshit whoever who's making these stupid rules get the better of us.
Yeah, why am I laughing?
Because mental disorder is funny.
I'm laughing at the fact that I am actually mentally disabled for another reason now.
I'm kidding. Mental disorders are not funny. Just the eating ones. You fucking fat bastard. No.
In other news, From Software has made some announcements about their upcoming game, Sekiro. The Shadows Die Twice. Is it that one?
That's the one.
That one.
Yeah.
What he said. We'll edit out all my mistakes. Basically, first off, they have said that the game will be harder than Dark Souls and Bloodborne, which I, for one, having never made any progress on any of those games, do not like the sound of that.
I'm a bit confused about it because we saw in the trailer that at the E3 release that the character dies, doesn't he? And then the big bad guy walks away, and then oh shit, you're there again, and you fucking slice his door or whatever. So how can it be? You get second chances. You die, and then you come. I'm a bit confused about that mechanic. So if you do get like a second chance, like without starting from a very end checkpoint or from the beginning, you can just get up. I wonder how it's going to be harder. Like they've made the enemies even harder. So or can you only die the once in the game?
It's a game with like permadeath, but you get one extra life.
Yeah. So I wonder how they're going to make it harder than like a Bloodborne or Dark Souls series.
I don't know.
Apart from just making enemies even probably more unpredictable to hit and boss battles even harder.
See, I don't think they'd go for unpredictability, because one thing everyone has prided the Souls and Bloodborne games on is the fact that you can learn enemies well enough to be able to beat them. And the whole point of the game is learning the patterns, learning everything, where everyone is. So it seems like they'd be doubling back on everything they've worked on if they made things random and unpredictable. Yeah. However, you're right. The E3 trailer gives a lot of questions on actual mechanics in the game and how it's going to work and how it's going to be harder. However, one thing we do know about the game, one thing they announced, is that the game will not be multiplayer.
No.
I don't see that as a surprise, personally.
Well, because in the Dark Souls series and the Bloodborne series, you can basically summon up other people to come and help you. So that might be a reason why it's harder, because you can't get other people to help you.
So you're just going to be you on your own.
Yeah, so basically you could just summon another character, say, hey, come and help me with this boss, and you two could just get the boss's ass. This, apparently no multiplayer whatsoever. So you can't join forces to beat ancient samurais. Yeah.
I guess not.
So they also announced that it's not in the same, what's it called?
Soulsverse? The Soulborn verse?
Most definitely not called that.
It's the Fromverse. We'll call it the Fromverse.
Yeah, we will, until we find out the actual...
Yeah.
I will show you the world. It is Soulsborne series.
Yeah.
So what is the Soulsborne series?
Well, the Soulsborne series, I assume, would be the world that Bloodborne and Dark Souls are set in. So I assume from what they're saying here, and to go with our question about how the mechanics are going to work, I don't think it's going to be quite the same as Dark Souls or Bloodborne. I don't think you're going to have the bonfires, the respawning at them. I think they're going to change up the mechanics somewhat. The fact that they're pointing out it's not part of that world, it's got to mean there's going to be big differences.
Yeah.
Which could then tie into the trailer and how the guy just gets back up again and carries on.
Yes, interesting, right? In other news?
That is the show.
In other news, Modern Warfare 3 has just become backwards compatible for the Xbox 360 or Xbox One. Which means, yes, probably means nothing to you right now, Ryan, but this means every single Call of Duty is backwards compatible now. Except one game, Modern Warfare 2. Now, why would
they do that, Michael?
This has made people speculate more that Modern Warfare 2 is going to get a remaster. Now, I was excited. So last year, or previous this year, we got a little announcement. It wasn't official that we were going to get a Modern Warfare 2 remaster. Really excited about this because it got leaked on Italian Amazon website, basically. But then we got a blow to the kidneys. It said kidneys in two parts.
We got a blow to the knees.
The kidneys. But then we got a blow to the stomach.
We need to say kidneys again.
Okay. And then we got a blow to the duodenum.
Fuck's sake.
Basically, they told us that it's going to be campaign only. Which they've got a huge backlash of that. Why would you make it campaign only? That's ridiculous. Yep. And two, the announcers of the game, like Activision or whoever, didn't mention it whatsoever. And it's just let it after April 30th when it came out, the single player campaign. It just got swapped under the carpet. So that was annoying. But now with this backwards compatible thingy, Bob.
Yeah. What about it?
It kind of confirms more that Modern Warfare 2 is coming probably next year. They're hoping that Modern Warfare 4 is going to be out next year as the new Call of Duty release. So they're hoping to release it. Well, the community are hoping that it's going to be, like a Modern Warfare 2 remastered and a Modern Warfare 4 bundle. But if this is true, they need to be careful on how they do it, because when Modern Warfare Remastered came out, do you know the first one? The original Modern Warfare Remastered?
Yeah.
They just bundle it with Infinite Warfare, and you couldn't buy it as a separate alone game until 6 months later. But after 6 months later, people were just disinterested in the game, and they still sold it for a full price game, which was insulting. So that kind of killed the game. So if they do release it with another game, they need to be careful in how they do it. I think they should do it halfway through between Black Ops 4 and the new release in 2019.
I think they should just stop making new games.
Yeah.
How many Call of Duties are there now?
Loads. Shitloads, mate. Yeah, but not Modern Warfare 2 Remastered.
Black Ops 4.
Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty game, in my opinion, but everyone thinks that, basically. Are you trying to say don't make Modern Warfare 2 Remastered?
No, I'm saying they should stop making new games.
In general.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
They need to let it die and move on to new, better things.
It's not going to happen, Ryan. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Ryan. I don't know, I'll die.
So, thank you so much for watching this episode of In Other News. Join us next week for another week of gaming news. I've been Ryan.
I've been Mike.
And we are the Informal Gamers. Goodbye. See, it's not nighttime.
No,
It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And do you know what 7 o'clock means? Yes. I was going to say dick time.
Oh,